listeners. Welcome back to episode 6 on Females Doing Cool Shit. I am excited about today's episode because I am with my bestie, and those who follow me on Instagram or have for a while know that Ella and I, we get up to a lot of mischief together. I explain our connection like two little kids in the playground that become best friends. It's like, are you a version of me but in a different body? Well, that's Ella McCartney and I. We are a little bit of a hot mess together, and I put my lifeline down to her. So she's like my number one bestie that I would call in times of need, in the good times, bad times, all the times mixed in. Hey Ella, how you going, babe?
I'm good. I feel the same way.
Do we cry?
Yeah, we cry all the time together. We cry, laugh.
We do. We FaceTime, cry, laugh. And sometimes we call each other and we're under the sheets at nighttime giggling like 2-year-olds.
Yeah, it's like a mouse or something trying to laugh. It's quite funny.
I love it. So I asked you here today purely because this podcast is on females doing cool shit. And when I met you, I knew straight away that you're doing cool shit because we connected at F45 and you did some insane workout with me, and then you walked over, pulled your boobie out and started breastfeeding your child while the other child was hanging off your leg. And I was like, who the fuck is this girl? And then you were like, oh, bye guys, thanks for the workout. I'm going to run 20 Ks with the double pram. And I was like looking at the other girls like, is she okay? What the fuck? And then I just grew to love you and knew that that was you. So tell us a little bit about you and who you are, and I guess running, and what is it that, how long have you been running for? Is it?
All right, so a little bit about me. I've got 2 little boys. They're 6 and 8. I love them. They're beautiful, although they're wild. I think I've always been into running since I was in primary school, cross country, all that sort of stuff. I did it through high school. Didn't do it that much after high school. I kind of was like a fun runner. I wasn't professional. I'm not professional now. But
yeah, you are. You just won $7,000 at Ballarat, but okay. Pretty sure that classifies as professional. Did just race in Japan for Australia, but nah, not profesh, babe.
No.
Pipe down a bit.
And then I think, I just kind of ran for fun for a lot. And then it wasn't until I had the 2 boys, and then I don't know, I really got into it. And I think after COVID or during COVID, when all the gyms sort of closed, I picked it up a lot more. And then, I remember doing a race and I wanted to do under 120 for a half and was like, maybe I can do it. I don't know. I didn't know how I was running. And then I ended up running 116.
I remember that race. Wasn't it like a loop too? You had to do so many turns.
You started it was like an out and back, but you started in the middle and then you kind of ran up a couple of K, ran back. And so there were people all along. It was really motivating. And I remember my watch going off and going beep, beep, beep every K, and every K was really fast. And I was like, I'm going to blow up. This isn't going to be good. And somehow I kept it. And I ran such a great time and way faster than I thought I could ever run. And then I think from there it's just, I don't know, it's just been my outlet, my little therapy.
Do you
thing.
think that something happens to our bodies when we have babies that makes us feel like we can take on more pain? Or I don't know what it is.
There's got to be something, because all the really good marathoners and good runners, they're nearly all mums.
That's so true.
And I don't
know, like long distance, Ironman.
Yeah.
They're all mums.
I know. I don't know what it is. I sort of see it as there must be something made up in us that makes us stronger after having babies. But then it's our time to get away. You can kind of go out and be like, I'm going for a 3-hour run.
And it's okay.
And it's okay, where you can't just be like, peace out, I'm going for 3 hours. But if you're running, it's fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's just been my little thing now. And I think it's my therapy now.
Your therapy now.
Yeah, it's my therapy.
Yeah. What's an average week of running for you?
When I'm not racing and don't have to do the taper or anything like that, I try to hit 120 to 150. But when you throw races in, it changes and backs it way down. But then it's also, you shouldn't count Ks. I try not to, but it's really hard not to. But if I can try and do
Ella
around.
loves Strava, by the way. So
I
if you want to
know.
follow Ella on Strava.
I'm private, so be careful.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm private.
Oh,
I might
bougie.
accept you, might not.
VIP only. I don't even use Strava anymore. I love
know
it.
you don't.
Nah, it'll say flat line. It'll say I've
Yeah.
done no Ks.
See, I do that sometimes too. I go into things where I'm like, I don't need people to judge my running or look at my running. So
Or analyze,
sometimes,
because you would have some professional,
Yeah.
love the word professional, runners
Yeah.
on your Strava where they'd be like, oh, what kilometre did she do for this? How
Yeah.
did she hold this pace? What was her heart rate at?
yeah, and sometimes I do put some of my runs on Strava. So sometimes my Strava graph can look like a hot mess, but on my end, it looks perfect
Yeah.
because I haven't put everything onto public viewing.
Yeah.
So people are like, are you okay? What's going on? Are you going through a crisis? And I'm like, no, I'm good.
I'm still running.
I'm like, you just can't see it.
Yeah. So what's like so that's an average week of running for you. What's your favorite run route? Like where would you go to like de-stress?
Oh, gosh. All right. A long way away.
Because let me tell the listeners, on New Year's Day, Ella picked me up and we both didn't do anything New Year's Eve. She came to pick me up and we went to Noosa and like I probably did like 8Ks. She did like 18. She just kept looping me. But that is my favourite run route. Like Noosa National Park is just shit hot first thing in the morning. You have to go really early so you don't meet every man and their dog. But that is like hands down my favourite run.
Yeah. See, I agree. I love running in there, just not tourist time. But then the run from Coolum up to Noosa, if you run all the way on the coast and then run the national park to finish, that is
not to Tewantin like I did the other day.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know, that's really nice. But then I do also love like my Wednesday runs or I run with Beth a lot and that's like our therapy Wednesdays or like the long trail runs where we just go out in the middle of nowhere.
For hours.
And I don't know, that's really nice as well. But then I do like track sessions where I put myself through so much pain. So yeah, it changes a lot.
It changes a lot. So what's like your future for running? Can you tell us before your future, can you tell us about like what's your greatest achievement? Like I know I talk you up all the time to everyone, so I'm not going to do it for you. I'll let you do it. But tell us about like international races or interstate races where you've just been like, holy shit, I've just blown myself away. Like for example, Ballarat.
See, that's really hard. I think Gold Coast was really good last year because I finally got to the start line. I trained for it for like 3 years. COVID cancelled it the first time. Got COVID a week out the second time. Third year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got COVID and I was like, I don't care. And we just sat on the couch together.
Yeah.
But I never got it.
No, you didn't get it. You were like feeding me like frozen Cokes and everything. I was
not good, babe.
Nah, I was not good. And that was a week out from the marathon. So last year I made it to the start line and I had the goal of sub 240 and I got it. I did 238. I didn't feel great running it though. Like
you were still smiling. Everywhere I saw you were smiling.
I just had a stitch. I had a stitch from 5K to 25, I think it was, but it wasn't like it was slowing me down. It just made me really like I was really worried that it could turn really bad because sometimes you do get those stitches and it's like you struggle to run. But it was okay. But I think getting the 238, I remember crossing the line and I wasn't crying, but I was close to crying because I looked at the clock and was like, oh my gosh, I've done it. That was really cool. Ballarat was really good. Like I went there wanting to win. Didn't really say that out loud to too many people. But they had really good prize money. My time was pretty good considering how bad I felt on the second lap and my head went to some pretty...
So it was 2 laps.
It was 2 laps and you start with a half marathon. So when you go through the second lap, most of the people stop. And so the next lap is it's a lonely 21K and I did not feel great at all.
Was it hilly?
Yeah, it had this one really bitch of a hill. It was so bad. And I think by the time I got up to that on the second lap, that just cooked me. And I went out the first lap being a hero. I was running fast. I think I did like 118 flat for the first half marathon and was like, shit, I've got to do it again. And I completely died.
Like, for example, I'm an everyday runner. Ella's an athlete. Well, I would say anyone who runs is an athlete, but she's a professional runner. And would you say that you fight the same demons that I fight? So, for example, like I've run a few marathons. I'm about to race Gold Coast in 4 weeks. Is it
6
4
weeks. No, surely we've got more.
Nah, baby.
No,
anyway,
it's more. I think it's
let's
6.
roll with 5. Meet halfway.
I reckon it's 6 or 7 though, but whatever.
Oh, love that.
I
for
know.
you. She's wrong. It's because I'm a school teacher.
It's the start of May, June, July. 7th of July or something. Someone tell us the
We're
answer.
already in June, babe. Okay, so
Oh, yeah, we are.
do you fight the same demons that I fight? So, for example, if I'm racing a marathon, I tell myself, like, oh, yeah, I feel so good. I feel so amazing. You've got this. You've got this. And then you get to a point where it's like, I don't actually fucking feel amazing. Like, when the fuck is this going to end?
Yeah,
32
absolutely.
32 Ks.
Yeah.
So you fight those demons too?
Absolutely. Someone asked me the other day, they're like, what goes through your head? And I was like, oh, really bad thoughts. I'm like, I know when I'm struggling, I'm like, I want to stop. Why have I paid to do this? It's not fun. Like, just stop. Like, yeah, no, it's not good. And I feel like there's got to be a way to work that out.
How do you get out of that though? You don't?
I don't. It's not till like I get towards the end or I try and like talk myself through it. Like Ballarat where I was really struggling. I remember being like, I've only got to get like 4Ks to the lake. Once I get 4Ks to the lake, it's 6K around. I can do 6Ks and then it's 2K to the finish. I was really
How many park runs is that?
Yeah, I actually did that at Gold Coast. I remember getting 5Ks to go. I'm like, it's only a park run. I don't even do park run. I'm not like a park run person.
We're not park runners.
We're not park runners, but yeah, I was talking myself through it. I'm like, it's 5Ks. I can do 5Ks, but I do get the really bad thoughts. And I think a lot of runners do. It's just, I don't know how to manage it. I've got no advice.
Everyone's like, mind over matter. And it's like, yeah, that's all well and good. But when you've got a toenail flinging around in your shoe,
like, can we go onto your toenail at Noosa? You were like a hot mess and you're like, my toe hurts. I want to take my shoe.
How bad was it though? Like, I should have been in hospital.
Well, I was like, how bad can your toe be, babes? Like you're fine.
Suck it up.
And you're like, I want to take my shoe off. I'm like, you can't take your shoe off. You'll get disqualified.
They wouldn't let me.
And then you took your shoe off in the car.
Yeah, and then we realised the damage.
I'm going to upload a photos for someone to see. And it was
no. Okay.
You ran in shoes that were too small.
I know.
So everyone,
every
if you buy
marathon
shoes,
I do, I always fuck up. I'm like, if Gold Coast I fuck
you're
up,
not fucking
I'm
up at
quitting
Gold
running.
Coast. No, you're good. You've got it.
Mind
no.
over matter.
Yeah, no, we've got this. I'll be on the course cheering for you.
Oh God.
No, it's going to be good. Gold Coast this year.
Gold Coast.
We've got it.
I feel like a part of me prefers an ultra marathon because there's no stress on your time. You're like, I'm out there to survive. I mean, for you, there's stress on your time. But for an everyday runner like me, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to do it and be like, fuck, I run 50 Ks. But with a road marathon, when you've been training for so long, it's like there's pressure.
It's really different. I reckon trails and ultras, it's a different pain. Like road marathons, it's like speed and it hurts.
It's hard.
And then I feel like trails, you can really relax a little bit and have a bit more fun. I don't know. I feel like they're really different races. I'd say trails are a fun event. Roads are hard.
And all different people run trails.
Yeah.
You've got elite to like 80-year-old guys that are like, I'd love to walk 50 Ks in the bush and take 15 hours. Like,
yeah, I really think it's like that. But trails are cool. I feel like it's good to mix it up.
So what's your goal for Gold Coast?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
You're asking me why I'm really sore.
Yeah, tell us about your 20,000 kilometre race that you just did.
Oh, I did it was called Race the Sun. It's on the Gold Coast. And we started at Surfers at sunrise. The moment the sun came up, you pushed like the pedestrian button at Surfers Paradise. And when the pedestrian light goes green, that means you start. And there's no road closures. And the teams just have to cut through traffic. It was gnarly. And then it's 345 Ks from Surfers to Tenterfield. Now, I didn't know where that was, but I do now. And it's just like hinterland. I think it was New South Wales.
So fully hills.
Yeah. And you've got 6 people in a team. You run all through the night and you just have to get there before the sun comes up. And I stupidly read our roster. We had a bit of a plan and we didn't go by it at all. It completely changed. And I was like, oh, I only have to run 4 times. And I didn't realize it only went up to 165 Ks. And I was like, oh, Callie, you're finishing it. And everyone's like, how do you know that? And I was like, it says it on the roster. And they're like, no, it only goes up to 165 Ks.
And then what after that? It's just whoever feels okay to run.
Yeah, but we didn't follow that at all. And I ran 71 times.
Wow.
So I
Did
really
they just keep going? Ella will do it. Ella, she's a week of going.
we kind of had a bit of we had a plan, and then I just felt really good, and I just kept going, and somehow I was dosed up on caffeine, and I ran 81 Ks, and my body is ruined. So now thinking of Gold Coast and a time, I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Question for you: when we get to Gold Coast, what happens if you don't get a PB? How do you approach that? Because for elite athletes in any field, like you look at, I don't know, boxers, soccer players, all of them, if they don't get like the top score or the next PB, like coming to terms with that, I know Lydia talks heaps about it, coming to terms with that sometimes can be quite damaging for your mental health.
Yeah.
I know you're a little bit different because you give zero fucks
Yeah,
about
that's
a lot
true.
of things.
Fuck it, who cares? On to the next.
Yeah, like, will you care?
I don't think I will, because even for Ballarat, I was like, oh, it would be cool to PB, but I know it might not happen. And it didn't happen. And during the race, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, get me to the finish. I don't care about anything right now. I've just got to try and like hold my like winning spot. And it was fine. But it also wasn't my goal race. But Gold Coast, I don't know. I think if I PB, that's great. I'll be stoked. If I don't, I'll be like, oh, well, on to the next.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see myself as that serious. Like, I have a lot of fun with it all.
I love that about you, though, because so backstory, I run Soul Sisters Run Club, and backstory is that when I first started running, Ella was like my motivation. She'd send me a text and she'd be like, it was during COVID. Are you running today? Because I want to see you out there.
Aww.
And we'd run past each other.
Yeah.
Remember all the videos you'd take of
they're
me
so
running past,
cute.
and I'm wearing like my, back in the day, like no judgment. If you wear cotton on body, like live your best dreams. But I was wearing a cotton on body set, and I just kept getting chafe. Like the chafe under my arms and boobs and arse cheeks was absolutely fucked.
Sounds hot.
Definitely wear proper running clothes now. But back then I was so fresh and new. And you've got videos of like running past me like, yeah, you can do it.
Or like videos of me scaring you. Yeah. I know there's a lot of me. Like I'd
so
see you in the
good.
distance and I'd get my phone out and I'd be like, rah!
As she's running like 3:15 pace, lol.
Yeah,
and I'm there like struggling at my 6
I love
minute
seeing
pace.
the people that I love out running though. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's nice seeing everyone out there.
Yeah. What does running do for you? Does it give you a feeling?
Oh, it depends on the day, but running is really like, it's just my outlet. It's something that just, I put music in my ears and I can just tap out from anything else that's going on most of the time. Sometimes, yeah, I do have runs where like I do have to stop and walk, not because I need a rest, just, you know, it gets too much. But most of the time it's just, I don't know, it just makes me feel
Do you love
good.
the feeling after?
I think it's during. Sometimes I can get like in a really good mood and I'll be like, yes, like this is great. And other times I'll be like anger running. Like I remember anger running last week. It was after
I'm
new
pretty
stuff.
sure you were texting me while anger running.
No, we
and
were.
running, like, 2
You were
minutes.
like, yeah, I was messaging you, but I was like, I'll go out for an easy run and end up doing like 14 Ks at like 4:14 or something, which isn't fast, but for an easy run, that's way too quick. I'm normally the person that's like, easy runs have to be easy. Like you don't need to run every run fast. That's not how you're going to improve. But
No,
some
you just
days
kill your
you just
body.
need to. You're like, I'm angry. Run out
I've
the
got
anger.
energy.
Yeah. But
I find it's afternoons.
I love afternoon running.
Yeah, I feel like I get to the afternoon, I'm like, I've got so much energy. Shing.
See, I love
Let's
hearing
go.
that because most people are like, how do you run in the afternoon? I'm like, well, how do you run in the morning?
Do you know what? Running in the morning at the moment during winter, Tatum sent me a photo this morning of her out in the dark. It was like 6 degrees. And she was I wrote back and I was like, babe, you're nude. Like she was wearing like this tiny little run top. And I was like, I just can't get out there right now in that.
I can't get out in the cold. I would be leggings, long top, everything. I don't like being cold. I prefer to be too hot. And at the moment, the mornings are fresh.
Freezing.
They're so cold.
So when we talk about Gold Coast moving forward, like we're going down, we're doing Gold Coast Marathon, can't wait. Like for me, my goal is sub 4. So I would love to crack sub 4. The closest I've got is 4:10. And that was when I got to 35 Ks and I pulled my hamstring. Something always fucks up for me, I swear to God. Come on.
It's not going to happen.
Don't
Touch
believe in
wood.
God, but
You're going to be
please.
good.
We're going to be good.
Believe in
Touch wood. Like when we talk about your goal, it's just fucking next level, babe. What's your goal? I know you don't want to share, but you have to share.
My goal, I don't know if I'll get it at Gold Coast, but I'd love to do a sub 2:35. I feel like it's not that much quicker,
3 minutes.
but I feel like when you look at the pace written down,
What pace is it?
3:40.
Yuck.
I know, and that
unwell.
it actually sounds really hard like that, but when you're running it, it doesn't. It's not as hard as you think, which sounds really weird because every time
My goal's 2 minutes. Let's put this into perspective, babe. My goal is 2 minutes extra per kilometre.
who cares? Doesn't
No,
matter.
but like I'm not comparing, babe. I love my best life. Love my running goals, but I just think that's so freakishly fast. That's so cool. Do you ever feel like lightning?
No, I don't. I feel like because when I'm racing, like say Gold Coast, I'm not near the front. The girls that are winning the races are so much quicker than me, and I feel like a lot of people.
They became second.
No, I came 7th, 5th.
Oh, I thought you came second.
Second in Queensland.
Oh, okay.
So no. Jen was the first Queenslander in 2:29
Okay.
or 2:28 maybe.
What was the winning time? Do you remember?
No, I know the year before it was 2:24. And like that is crazy. That's so
wild.
that works out. I don't know if it's like 3:20 something per K. Like
It's wild.
like I would struggle to run 5K at that pace. Like
Yeah.
those elite girls are so elite, and I don't think
It's
I've
that
got it
next
in for
level
me.
tier.
Yeah, I don't have it in me to do that. I don't think.
Yeah.
Not like I wouldn't want to, but I feel like the discipline, you'd need to be doing a lot more running, be really careful with nutrition. If you
So
know
it's the girl
me,
that eats a packet of lollies.
yeah, I'm like, after this, I'm like off to KFC.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like people are always like, Ella's so tiny. Like does she eat like specific run food? I'm like, that bitch eats more than me, and it's like deep fried KFC
Yeah.
or a bag of lollies.
We drove past KFC recently and you were like, who even eats that? And I was like, bitch, me. I'm like, don't judge KFC. It's like protein. Deep fried in oil and it's amazing.
So good. Okay, so I spoke a bit before about Soul Sisters Run Club. So I started it during or just before the pandemic in 2020. We're still running today. I guess Soul Sisters was a place where women can come and connect and feel safe to run no matter what your pace is. If you were talking to a woman like you used to talk to me back in the day before I started running, what would you say to a woman just starting out with her running journey?
I would say go out, put shoes on, don't even look at a watch.
Don't wear a watch.
Don't wear a watch. Don't get held up with paces. And I'd even say you can go on Strava if you want to go on Strava for yourself, but don't go on Strava if you're going to compare your times to other people because that could probably put you in a bad place. Like,
comparison is the thief of joy.
yeah, you don't
sure.
need it. Like, easy runs are easy runs. It doesn't matter if your easy runs 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. It doesn't matter. So I'd say just go out there, have fun. Don't overdo it. Don't straight away be like, I'm going to run a marathon because you'll probably just get injured. I'd just go out and, I don't know, even for the first 6 months, just have fun with it. Go explore new
love that.
trails. I always tell people if you get sick of the roads, jump on trails. Like, trails are so beautiful.
And if you have to walk some of the trails, everyone has to walk some of the trails.
Oh, I was walking them the other day with Beth. Like, we got to
leaning
this.
on the hands.
Oh, I was over it. There's a photo of me, like, she's running off on the hill, and I was like, fucking bye. I was over it. And, like, you get tired, and you can walk the trails, but they make you stronger. But
there is this, like, idea out there, though, with beginner runners that if you walk, you're still not running. So, like, for example, if you're going to do your first 10K race somewhere, if you have to stop and walk to get a drink, they're like, yeah, but I stopped to walk. No one cares, babe.
No,
Like,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't mean that you didn't run the 10Ks. You still did the 10Ks.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
I've stopped to walk to get a drink in a marathon before. Like, yeah, I had a really bad day, but I was like, I need a drink and I can't get it while I'm running. I need to stop. And I remember stopping at the drink station and I was like, oh, and I'd never even think of people there judging me for it. I was like, I don't care. Like, that's what you've got to do. That's what you've got to do. Like, anyone's a runner. If you can put shoes on your feet and
just
get
go.
out the door,
Yeah.
you're a runner.
Yeah.
Like,
Stop comparing yourself to other people.
yeah,
'Cause
just have fun
if
with
I
it.
compared myself to you being my best friend, like, I'd be in a, like, why would people do it? You
Yeah.
just have to, embrace who you are and the journey that you're on and go for it.
Because I could compare myself to the elite people and like I'm not quick compared to them. Like their marathon times are like 15 minutes quicker than mine.
Yeah.
And to get to that level is
insane.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it, which is fine.
Yeah. So we've spoken about all of your successes and we know that with success comes like true deep failure. Lol. Let's talk about the race where I had a text saying, I'm in the ambulance.
It's so bad.
Let's go there. What happened, babe?
All right. Don't really know what happened, but this is in Port Fairy.
Do we think it's dehydration?
Yeah, mixed with a few things. So I went back to my hometown. Like I'm from Warrnambool in Victoria, and there's a little town called Port Fairy, and they asked me to come down. And I was like, that'll be really fun. Like I know everyone out there. Yeah, I'll come down and do it. And it was really great until it wasn't. And it got to...
Sounds like our life motto.
Oh my
it was
God.
really great until it wasn't.
Every day. It's a good day. Oh, no, it's not.
Until it's not.
And then I remember going through for the first lap and it was really fun. The guy commentating was a guy I went to high school with and he was like, Ella's running through. What was the song? Rihanna, let's play some Umbrella. And it was like, under my umbrella, Ella. And I was
you
like...
were like cheering at the cameras. Though.
Yeah,
like,
I was like,
this
is a great time. And then it was just after that, I ran out for the second lap and I was like, holy shit, I'm fucked. Like my head started spinning. And I said to this guy I was running with, I was like, I don't think I'm going to finish. Like that's how quick it came on. And I was like, wow, this is not good. And then I had another gel, ran a bit and I was like, oh no, I'm good again. I'm good. And then it came back and then it went and came back. And I was like in a dark place. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I could see. I was just really spacey. And then it got worse and worse. And then I remember running and I was like running down this hill and I was like, I can't run fast because I'm really worried I'm going to pass out, face plant the ground, smash my teeth out. Like I had all these sort of thoughts and I was like, fuck, this isn't good. And then I just kept toughing it out. So that was 21K it started. And then it just got to this point where I was like dry reaching as well. And I ran past this race photographer and I was like, ugh. And they took a photo at that time. I've got the picture. I'm not sending it to you.
Can we use it as the cover photo for the potty, please?
Fuck no. It's so bad.
I've seen your birth photos.
Oh, no, I think it's worse.
Oh, okay.
That looks really good compared to this. And then I got to one of the drink stops and that's where I stopped and had a drink. And the lead bike girl knew me and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, fuck no. And then I was running up this hill. It was 35 Ks in and I saw this bush and I was like, I got to throw up, pass out. I don't really know, but I'm not in a good place.
Sit down.
So I went to this bush and leaned over and was like dry reaching and I had nothing to vomit up. And then I didn't collapse, but I kind of just like fell on the ground and then my whole body started shaking. And I was like, I don't know
Were you cold?
I wasn't cold. The conditions were really good for running. Like it was summer, but down there it was like cooler. And I'm used to running in the heat up here. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I remember laying there and then my legs started cramping and the lead bike went and got first aid. The lifeguards came. The ambulance came. It was like dramatic.
Hands on deck.
Yeah. And I was like, they were trying to lift me up on the stretcher and like my legs were just cramping and I was like in a state. And then obviously I didn't finish. But when that happened, I was in first. And so.
But when we looked back and analysed the data, didn't we see that if you were to like slow jog or just like kind of roll to the end, you still would have won?
No, I don't reckon I could have ran. Okay. I couldn't have physically got there. Like
Moved
in
forward.
the end, I was running at 4:30 pace.
Yeah.
And struggling. And that like I can jog at 4:30s.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck.
You weren't good.
This is not good. Like, and the only thing that I can think of is that my period was due the day or the day before the race. And I was like, oh my gosh, how do I run a marathon on this? And I spoke to another professional runner and she told me like, you can actually go to the doctor and they can help you delay it. And I was like, let's try that. She's done it. Surely it's going to be fine. Don't recommend it. Like, I'm actually glad I've done it now because I don't know if it was that. If that happened at Gold Coast or something, I would be pretty upset. And the only thing I can think of is that that antibiotic that I did take
Through you.
could have like thrown out hormones and dehydration and everything like that. Like they were trying to put like an IV and they couldn't get a vein. They were like, you're so dehydrated. You need to go to hospital, which I refused. I'm that pain in the ass person. I was like, I just need to rest. Yeah. So that's the only thing I could think of. And
do you genuine, like on an everyday run, do you drink water? I'm asking this because I know the answer.
No. Even racing, I struggle to do that. I just can't get it in. But Ballarat, I think I drank no, I mustn't have drank a lot. I was going to say I drank a lot in Ballarat, but I didn't because I couldn't.
I just am jealous because I'm a thirsty bitch out on course. I'm like, I need every aid station.
No, I don't drink a lot. But I thought in Ballarat I tried to get a bit more fluid in, but I guess I couldn't pee after for like 3 hours, so I guess I didn't.
You've got nothing. You drag, girl.
Yeah, I had to drink. I had drug testing in Ballarat. That's the only reason I know. I'm like, no, I mustn't have drank much.
You had to wait.
I had to wait like 3 hours to go to the bathroom.
Well, any future plans for you with running? I mean, Ella and I, side note, we did our coaching with Athletics Australia for something fun and extra to do, and it was hilarious. Like my coach and Ella's coach, Benita, she trained us, and we were doing cartwheels behind the scenes. It was
drinking wine.
Yeah,
and
it was great time. Great time. She was like, "What are these to girls?" She's like our mum. We love her. Shout out to Benita. But moving forward, do you have any plans to go like and do a business in the running industry, or work with women who want to run, or coach women? Or I know it's your passion. Is there anything that people can expect from you? So say someone wants to start learning how to run. Can they rely on you, given that you've got such a wealth of knowledge on how much water that you should intake during a race?
Which I don't do myself. Maybe. I do have quite a few people that do write to me and ask for run advice and stuff like that. I know that I could go down the coaching line. Like, I don't know. I just don't know what I want to do. I'm really happy giving out advice and telling people what they can kind of do. And I would be confident in training people. I feel like I've learnt so much off Benita. She was like amazing. I had her coaching me for 3 years. And I just learnt so much that I could do it, and maybe I will.
Maybe you could work with Benita.
Watch this space. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. Like,
never know.
Like, could happen. Like, but if people want advice, I'm always happy to just tell them what I think. And
besides Gold Coast, what's your favourite race
that I've done,
or that like you're looking forward to doing, or?
I don't know. I actually really liked the race I did in New Zealand. That was just a trail marathon, but you ran through all these like really cool like river crossings. And
what about Rainbow Beach? You love that?
Yeah, I did. It was cool. That was really hard. One year we went the wrong way by like 4Ks or whatever.
I remember that.
Was still one.
Yeah.
But that was tough. That was
still
tough.
one.
Just letting you know. I don't know. I would love to do like maybe like one of the major marathons or something. I feel like that would be cool.
Like Berlin or?
Yeah,
like New York?
Yeah, something like that. Like, can we go?
Yes.
Like, I feel like I'd like to do a major. I've never done one. Like, I did do one in Japan, but it wasn't one of the like major 6. I think there's 6 of them. That would be cool.
What did you come in Japan?
5th.
I mean, I know the answers to all of this. I'm just asking you.
No, I came 5th, but I came off the flu.
Yeah.
And the flu, that was.
I remember you sitting on stage with all Japanese girls.
Yeah, and then I sat down and then I crossed my legs all relaxed and I looked around and everyone has their legs all sitting up straight. And I was like, oh, I better do that too.
Polite.
Yeah, I understood nothing. I had to like, walk up on stage and bow and yeah, it was really cool. Like, but they're so fast. Yeah. Like I feel like it's really hard to get a fast time because you can't get in a bunch. Yeah. Because they're just so quick. They just keep going past you like the whole time.
What do you mean by in a bunch so that listeners can hear?
So Gold Coast, for example, I feel like from like a couple of K in, you get in a bunch of runners and they all sit at a similar pace. And you can kind of hang on to that for maybe like 20, 30 Ks and you get dragged along, you sit in and it makes it a lot easier than being by yourself. Where with Japan, they have such fast runners that there's 20,000 people in a marathon. I started right near the front and because they're so fast, I felt like for 30K, they just kept going past. It's all the guys. And I was like, I can't sit in a group. It wasn't till like right near the end.
That you found a group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not a group.
Do you talk to people when you're in a little pack?
Not in Japan.
Obviously.
Because I'm like, I don't know what they're saying, but it sounds like they really like me. Yeah, no, we do. Like, we really do. Like, Gold Coast was awesome. Like, when we got to drink stations and stuff, like, it was hectic. People were trying to get their own.
Each other?
Yeah, people were offering their drinks to other people and people were talking. Even Noosa just recently, like, I end up getting, like, in bunches with all the guys and I know all the guys.
She just won Noosa, by the way, 2024.
Yeah, just the half. But it was really cool. Like, all the
Not
guys.
just
the half. Wasn't the marathon.
Come on, babe.
Could have won the marathon.
Yes, that's true.
But no, like the guys in that race were really good and like checking in, like how you feeling. And I remember being like, I feel like shit.
Does anyone ever hand gels?
People do offer them around.
I had a guy hand me a snake lolly one time when I did that 30Ks in Gold Coast, and it came out of his pocket and it was like covered in dog hair.
Did
and
you
he
eat
handed
it?
it to me. Fuck no.
Oh, I
he
thought
handed
you
it to
would
me. He's
for
like,
sure.
do you want a lolly? And I was like, yeah, this looks good. I think I was like 27Ks in, and I looked at it, it was covered in dog hair, and I was like gagging to the side, like,
Oh, see, I
who
would.
offers someone
Nah, I would eat that for sure.
a snake lolly that's sweaty and covered in dog hair?
Nah, I would eat it.
Would you?
Yeah,
Would you wash it off?
Nah, if desperate times,
Babe, you would embrace the dog hair.
Yeah, like
You're
during those
unwell.
times, I would eat, and even after,
Won't drink water, but will embrace dog hair, sweaty.
like even after the race on the weekend, like we were eating Ferrero Rochers in bed, and the other girl I was with, Kelly, like we spilt all the stuff on the bed,
And you
there
were
was
still embracing.
yeah, and then there was all
Yeah.
these crumbs, and I got the crumbs
Of
onto
course
my
you did.
hand, put it in my mouth, and I was like, oh, there's hair in there. This isn't a joke, and I was like, okay, that's kind of gross, and that wasn't even racing.
Okay.
I'm not okay.
All right, babe. Not okay.
Off to therapy.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I love you. And I think that your journey with running and with life is one to be really proud of. And I think that listeners can go and follow your Instagram. Is that how people can find you and follow your run journey? And if they want to see what race you're up to next?
Yeah, you can go
How do
follow
they
me
find
on.
you? What is it? What's your handle?
I'm pretty sure it's just Ella McCartney.
Okay. And
Something-
that's it? No underscores, no hashtag.
Oh,
or
maybe
like
you'll
weird
find
things?
me, but it's not. I'm not a serious.
Go to my followers and then she'll be in
But
there.
it's not a serious run account.
No,
There's
but
all
it's
kinds of shit on there.
lots of stuff.
Like we keep it.
PG
fun.
until you're on the close friends list. Okay.
We love the close friends list.
We love a close friends list when it's normally just me. Thank you for coming on today. Love you so much.
Thanks for having
You're in
me.
a bubble of love, and I can't wait. Ella and I are going to race Gold Coast, not together. I'll be far behind, but we are going to race Gold Coast in July. So stay tuned for the results. Lol.
It's going to be amazing. Thanks for having me.
We love that. Thanks, listeners. Talk to you soon.